Hello. Our society, the society of love, peace and unity.
Fuck you, J.K. Rowling. The only person that's shite is you. We should all take a shite on you.
Oh my
heinous,
God.
cretin old bitch. But who gives a shit? Donald Trump is a fucking Donald Trump is a You know who else is a Starmer and West Streeting. Massive What the fuck is a TERF anyway? Do I fucking exist? Fuck the Daily Mail! And fuck the fucking Telegraph! What the fuck? We want to be handmaidens to the fucking patriarchy! What do we do? What do we do? What do we want? When do we want that?
Our society, the society of love, peace and unity.
Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Oh, I got such good stuff for you today. You know what? They brought it on themselves. Sorry, but it's actually real. And I just want to remind you all out there that I'm an actual transsexual person who transitioned 1,000,000 years ago, and this never happened, okay? Everything you see is such a farce, and these people are not transsexuals. They are just angry, angry people and need something to fight. I would say so many things, but I would get totally demonetized here. You all know that, but let's just have a little fun today with their unhinged insanity where they think somehow they are doing something good for the world and somehow they think they are fighting for trans rights when it's this kind of insanity, and it's literally unhinged misogyny and so much more. So thanks for joining me today, and thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting if you're doing that. Even the hateful ones, go right ahead, friends. That being said, I just want to let you know that I do appreciate you all so much in helping my channel grow, and we finally reached 170,000 subscribers, which is so awesome, and I can't do it without you. So anyway, let's just get on with this because it's going to be so... You know, I'm going to laugh because it's just, I didn't do this. You did it, trans activists. And this is what happens when you do stuff that's disingenuous. So all of this is coming on the heels of this next one. Let me bring up here.
Unanimous decision of this court is that the terms woman and sex in the Equality Act 2010 refer to a biological woman and biological sex.
A pivotal moment in a landmark case.
So, just to remind all you trans activists out there, you brought this on yourself. I will continue to say it. And I am not the only transsexual saying this. There are many of us who have been saying this. I think Blair White, we got to give her a lot of praise because she really is the one who helped a lot of us transsexuals see what was happening, and she fought for this from the many years ago, and that person gets so much hate, it's insane. So really, we got to really thank her from the transsexual side and opening up our eyes to the insanity, and it just progressively got worse until what I show you, that now they're just so unhinged and ridiculous, and the fact that this even had to be a thing is so sad to me. I'm telling you all, I've been living this way for a long time. I navigated the world. Yeah, maybe sometimes people got mad, but very rarely anymore. And I look like a dude, and I used the men's room, and nobody cared. And it was just, it's not what they're trying to make it seem, okay? They're not. Of course, now people are going to get mad because men who are saying they're women with beards and mustaches going into women's spaces is not okay. And again, I'm going to remind you, YouTube, I am a transsexual with a different opinion, okay? I'm speaking from my own experience here. And if you actually really want to have a fair and balanced channel, you've got to let people like me say these things and stop coming after me and shutting my voice down. It's getting to be a little bit irritating. So next one I'm going to bring up is this.
So legally in the UK, I'm no longer seen as a woman. So from now on, to protest, I'm going to be visiting all the men's bathrooms. Well, I wouldn't say them all, but I'm going to be visiting a lot of the men's bathrooms if I need the toilet. And yeah, like it's going to be interesting to see what the guys have got to offer. And we'll hang out, we'll have a little party, we'll have a great time together. I'm excited, so well done.
So, okay, like, what's the problem there? Okay, this is what they've been saying for a long time. But now I can tell why you're saying it very sarcastically, okay? First off, nobody would care. I can tell you right now, you could probably randomly go into a woman's toilet if you just kept your mouth shut and went in the rest stall and went pee and came out and left. Probably nobody would ever even care that you did that, because again, I've been doing this a long time. Nobody cared until the crazies came in and wrecked it for you. So you, as a trans woman who fully passes, in my opinion, then you would have never had an issue. You shouldn't be mad at the women. You should be mad at your people who did this to you and now are making you use the men's room. And let me just remind all of you out there, okay, men don't necessarily care. There's going to be the random dude that's like, I don't want, but the majority of dudes, I know from many years ago, women can use actual women can use the men's room, and men didn't care. That's a reality of the fact that we all know, but you're continually using this toilet thing as a debate, okay? Let me... I could just keep saying it over and over about my experience in the world. And there were times early in my transition that I didn't pass. And I walked that in between line where it's like you can't tell if I'm a woman or a man. And I had to use the woman's room. And then women would scream. They would be like, ah! And I'd be like, no, I'm actually a girl. I'm a woman. And then it would, so I dealt with a lot of that early on in my transition. These people are just gaslighting and acting like, oh, woe is me. I can't pee in the woman's room. I think there's worse things in the world than you can't pee in the woman's room. Talk about entitlement. It's just unbelievable. So, yep, you go right ahead, friend, and pee in the men's room. The next one I have...
I don't care too much about being recognized as a woman, because I just don't want to be recognized at all. I just want to be left alone. And I think that's what we all want after this war against our tiny community, where we are less than 1% of the population. And it's been a constant onslaught against us. And we just want to be left alone.
No.
I think it's going to affect a lot more people than just trans people's lives. And that's actually what I'm looking forward to, because I think when people realize that it's going to be butch lesbians being asked why they're in women's bathrooms, because that's already happening. I have many friends who have been stopped in bathrooms who are just cisgender, born women, lesbians.
Okay, I'm going to stop for 1 minute because I got to just push back on this person. First off, you just want to be left alone. BS. BS, I call you out. Now you just want to be left alone. Now that all of it's kind of crumbled down upon you, you all want to be left alone. You should have listened, okay? And you should have just gone about all the rights that the elders of the transsexual community fought for you. You should have just used it, and you should have just moved on in your life, but you couldn't, could you? Because you needed to have attention. Y'all act like clowns. I need attention. So BS, BS, BS. And secondly, don't start talking about butch lesbians now, acting like you care about lesbians and women. You don't care. Let me remind you again. I lived as a butch female for a lot of my life. I navigated the toilet, okay? I navigated everything. I know exactly what that means. This isn't new. Butch lesbians and masculine women have been dealing with that forever, before you were born, before I was born. and now all of a sudden, this is going to be part of your... don't let these people gaslight you all, people. Now they're going to start using what they're going to grab. They're going to grab whatever they can grab to use for their fake cause, okay? Because now they see the house built on a false foundation is crumbling.
Women, there was a viral post recently going around about a woman who's going through chemo who was affronted in a bathroom and asked why she was in there, and they assumed she was trans because she was bald. We see women from different cultures.
I dated bald women. Again, been dealing with that's been going on forever. And how dare you use a chemo patient? I mean, really? Talk about low. Talk about actual getting so low.
Who are built differently to like the kind of Western ideal of femininity, being constantly policed over their gender. We see it in the Olympics. Every time there's Olympics, there's a female athlete who is policed over, are they really a woman? These are it's going to hurt lesbians, it's going to hurt women going through things like chemo, it's going to hurt women from different cultures, it's going to hurt a lot more than trans people. And if anything, I look forward to that, because then we can all rally together and prove that this was just absolute nonsense and it's not protecting anyone.
Oh my God, these people are so pathetic. Using chemo, using lesbians. Now women are going to hurt from this, as if you ever cared. Don't you you see, I mean, I know you do. You're smart. You see it. I got to call these people out. They're fake, fake, fake. And now they're just grasping, what is it called? Crabs in the bucket. And they're just grasping for straws now, using everything and as if they care. Yeah, I look forward to it too. So sit down.
The British Transport Police say that they are going to use male officers when they have to strip search trans women. It's already rolling back. And if a trans woman has had full gender-affirming surgery, they are almost indistinguishable. And yet they're going to be searched by a man. We wouldn't expect any woman to be searched by a man. Never mind someone who's had to work so hard to be able to show to the world that they are truly a woman.
The talking points they use are so lame and ridiculous. Nobody's strip searching anybody. That's a whole other thing they keep saying, and they keep trying to use that on kids too. Nobody's strip searching anyone. It's, if anyone could put in the comments where that's actually in law, then I will actually take this back. But I refuse to believe that how could that ever even be legal? Come on, man. And this is why we need this law in place, okay? Secondly, I just want to keep reminding you all, trans people aren't losing any rights, okay? You're just being acknowledged as a trans woman, which is what everybody has been saying, including me. You've also thrown us all under the bus who have been living this way comfortably forever, had our IDs changed, didn't abuse the system, just went on our way and lived as males and females and coexisted. You're the ones who literally destroyed everything that we built in order to live in the world, okay? So, no, I'm not letting you get away with this, okay? I'm not letting you get away with that. Now, everything I worked for to get from my own self is now totally destroyed because all of you crazy, angry weirdos who thought you were trans and doing some crazy stuff have now strip searching police. Give me... Oh, my God, what's next? What's next?
The Supreme Court just passed the decision that trans women are no longer legally considered women. This decision was absolutely horrifying. The knot that formed in my...
Absolutely horrifying. What's horrifying about it? I'd really like to know what's... Horrifying is a big word there, person. I don't want to get busted. Horrifying. What's horrifying is what women were enduring with the beginning video that I posted there, when you're calling them all these insane names, hateful, the signs, okay? Y'all had a P-in at the, whatever they call it in the UK, the capital or whatever. You had a P-in with all of you. I don't understand this obsession with pee and this obsession with the toilets, okay? And this, you think all your rights are being taken away. And the only thing that has been changed, because you still have rights, is that now you are recognized as a trans woman, okay? You have rights as a trans woman. You are not recognized as a woman because you're not a woman and you'll never be a woman. Again, I also want to ask and say this to all of you out there, okay? I want to say all of this. Do you notice no one is talking about trans men? Not 1 ounce of this conversation is ever about people like me. It didn't go into law that men are now recognized as adult biological males. Never. They don't say this. You've got to see, it's such a misogynistic, insane movement. And this whiny little one here is all, oh, it's horrendous. It's all insane. No, you have the same rights you always had. You just don't get to be a woman.
My stomach, when I read that headline, was nothing short of unbearable. I mean, I've just been fucking
unbearable. I'm nauseous. Oh my God. Yeah. Go live in... Never mind.
Nauseous lately in general. I can't imagine how it must have felt for a trans woman living in the UK to wake up to that news story. And I just wanted to take a moment to...
Let me remind you that we as trans people have lived... you just transitioned like a week ago. And, 30 years ago, we had to do so many things to navigate this world. I am so happy I transitioned back then because it really gave me thick skin and big ones, because like all of this just seems so petty and so insane. It's just so petty.
Say to the dolls in the UK, to my sisters, you are women through and through, and through 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 and through. And 5 silly little judges signing 1 silly little piece of paper doesn't change that. I know we're all staring down the barrel of a loaded gun as far as transgender rights, especially in the UK and the United States right now. Supreme Court.
We're all staring down the barrel of a loaded gun. They are so pathetic. And like, talk about really actually the most victim-y stuff. And like, oh, we're a women. You see, did you hear what that person just said? It's like, you don't need a piece of paper to know. Okay, you just said it. You don't need a piece of paper to know you're a woman. You actually said it. So why are you crying then if you don't need the piece of paper to say you're a woman? If you think you're a woman, go right ahead, okay? And walk the world. But stop with punching women in the face, because it's literally what you're doing. God, they're so embarrassing. They embarrass me. You know that, what's it called? Secondhand embarrassment. Okay, this next one I'm bringing up right here is Miranda. Okay, so Miranda is a transsexual male to female who has been around for a long time, and I align with Miranda. Why do you see this? Watch. These are the ones they don't want you to hear. These are the ones they've been hiding. Okay, Miranda transitioned, or whatever you want to call it, 1,000,000 years ago, like me. So what you're going to see the difference between us older ones who've settled in. We know exactly what we're doing. We don't want to tramp on anybody. We just want to walk the world and feeling like we can be these people. So Miranda's a powerhouse.
I don't think that this is a problem for people who consider themselves to be trans. They have the same rights today as they had yesterday, as they had the day before.
It would mean that a trans woman couldn't use a female toilet and vice versa, for example. And that's something you think trans people are going to have to need to accept.
Yeah, why not? Why should women have to take on the burden of men who identify as women?
How would you talk about yourself in those terms?
I'm a bloke who calls himself Miranda.
So are you a trans woman or are you a man?
All trans women are men, because a defining characteristic of being a trans woman is that you have to be a man.
But then you're not a trans woman. How can you be a trans woman and a man?
What define trans woman?
Well, that's what I'm asking you, respectfully, Miranda.
No, you use the term.
But
if you're challenging my credibility to speak,
I'm saying if you say yourself, I am a man, then what's the trans women bit?
If I call myself a duck, would that make me a duck?
So you call yourself a trans woman, but it's meaningless, is what you're saying to me.
I don't call myself a trans woman, no.
Right. You would just define as a man who calls yourself Miranda.
Yeah. Yes, that's pretty much how I lead my life, as a man who calls himself Miranda.
Bam. Just bam. This is what all of you out there, even the people who just don't think people like us exist. This is a person who has their head on their shoulders, knows exactly what they're doing, wants to just be this person, knows that they're still male. They want to be perceived in the world as this person. And it's like so refreshing when I hear this from the trans sexual women, you know, that, and I know so many, you wait, I have some great interviews coming up who are just like, wow, you know, we just want to live our lives. And Miranda has been very instrumental in saying this kind of stuff, which as you see that, interviewee kind of person was truly trying to gaslight Miranda and so many. So are you a trans woman? Are you a man? And like, are you listening to what Miranda is telling you? Miranda just told you that they're a bloke. Okay, you know exactly what that means. And Miranda said that they don't identify as a trans woman, as I do not identify as a trans man. I identify as Buck. I like for people to see me as he and him. But if they can't do that, I'm just a female who identifies as this guy, and that's it. And so I know you all see it. It's why you keep coming back to my channel and helping me build this channel and getting me to 170,000 subscribers, which is totally awesome. So they're trying to shut us up here, people. So I just love Miranda. So next one I have.
Well, it's a very welcome day, Martin. For too long, we've been dealing with uncertainty and confusion over all these matters. It's led to all sorts of problems. It's been good for nobody. Yes. So I welcome this decision. I applaud for Women Scotland's hard work over many years. And hopefully now we can move on with confidence in more certainty of where everybody stands.
And Debbie written an excellent piece in The Spectator today saying the legal definition of woman has restored sanity to the law.
Thank you.
Well, it has done.
I'm sorry. For context, Deborah Hayton is a transsexual male who lives as female, and she's amazing. She's a friend of mine. She's a school teacher in the UK. She's always been fighting for women's rights. She's just level-headed. Okay, so wasn't sure if you all knew that's who she is.
Because when the law was unclear, nobody knew what a woman was.
Bam.
Was it somebody who'd been through a process of gender reassignment, or was it anybody who just ticked a box to say, I identify as a woman? We ended up with a mess, we ended up with confusion, and we ended up with a deeply unsatisfactory situation for everybody, not least of which people who have transitioned, who are just trying to live their lives in society.
And Debbie, it's become a very, very toxic debate, both for women and for trans people themselves and the broader population. And today, the Labour for Trans Rights group issued this statement. They said the Supreme Court's decision is hugely disappointing and a result of ceaseless lobbying from a well-funded anti-trans network with links to the global far right. Debbie Hayton, you've never struck me as someone from the far right.
No, I'm not. I'm a trade unionist and I've been a member of the Labour Party for a long time. But I take issue with what that group said. It's just not right. There are two different protected characteristics. There is sex and there is gender reassignment. Right, and society can protect both. And what we've tried to do is fudge the issue and try to protect both in the same context, in the same way, and it hasn't worked for anybody.
See how they always try to use you're a far right, they always go to the same rhetoric, how can it be anti-trans when there's actual transsexual people who agree with that situation, who agree with that law and so they try to hide our voices all the time. It's not anti-trans in any way, shape, or form. Debbie's just telling you the same thing. It's not. It's distinguishing the difference between a transsexual and a woman, okay, and a woman. And that needs to be in place in order for us to all move forward. There's no anti-anything there. It is actually helping us move towards, but I don't know. I really don't understand what these trans activists want. I really don't. Because let's just say they get the woman thing, okay? What's next? They won't be happy. They're not those kind of people. They won't be happy. What would be the next thing that they want? Okay. And the next thing that they want. So as you see, it's all a farce because nobody lost trans rights. Nobody. Okay. Anybody who is an actual real transsexual person knows our rights were not taken away. In fact, it defines our rights in a better way because we are not the same as you. And that needs to be defined in order for us all to have our rights and for us all to coexist and live in this world together. I'm exhausted from saying it. Okay, now, somebody's going to get mad at me, but, I don't really care because I actually like making fun of the trans community because they're actually wingnuts. And so, let's just laugh. I've got to. I just have to because I'm sick of this. This is kind of funny. But I will say something after because people bring this upon themselves, okay?
Fuck you! No, because I'm poor. It doesn't matter. I'm defending you, little pussy. I'm defending you. Pussy, little women. Go fuck yourself. You little fucking little dick.
Have you got this?
A little bit. You can't even come. Little fucking ass.
Oh my God. You're like literally humiliating yourself, dude. Like, really? Again, the anger and the insanity and the stuff that comes out of your people's voice because you can't use the women's room. Like, what? And then you just got so majorly humiliated because you are acting a fool. When you have to walk the world as a different person, you have to navigate that world, okay? And to any of you trans people out there who think I'm making fun, I am, number one, because you're ridiculous. And number two, this is the kind of stuff that throws us back a million years. So if you want to dress like a woman and wear the wig and do all that stuff, keep your mouth shut, okay? Because you don't get to yell at people like that and say things like that to women without having people come back at you. And it's going to come back tenfold. I told you that. I told you that. And you don't. You think you have so many more rights than everybody else. No, you do not, okay? You do not. You actually have to learn how to navigate the world without this kind of stuff. But when that nastiness comes out of your mouth, you better be prepared, okay? Because people are going to do this kind of stuff to you. And you literally are asking for it. You are. So y'all know our favorite Dylan, the wingnut, who's completely made a lot of this nonsense happen here in the United States, and I think infiltrated over into the UK. So Dylan is a dummy. That's how I think. I think Dylan just is being used as a puppet, is literally brain dead. It's not a very smart human being on many levels. I just don't think so. Smart to understand how to utilize social media to indoctrinate people, and how Dylan was able to create a huge platform as well as create a lot of money around the grift. And so I found this and I thought it was so funny.
I'm trying to move here permanent. There's something about being here that makes me feel like I've been so kind, and the theater culture is amazing, and Percy Pigs are my favorite. So honestly, that makes the move worth it.
Okay, so Wingnut here wants to move to the UK. What? This is how I can tell you that this person is a grifter. During all of this stuff that you're all calling trans rights being removed, okay, and that you won't be recognized as a woman, why would you want to move to the UK? Why would you want to move at this time when supposedly all your trans rights are being taken away? Grifter. Grifter, grifter, grifter. Okay, you're so full of it, man. You're just so. I wanted to leave you with that one because I just got to call these people out. They're full of it. They're all insane. They're not making any sense. They're throwing trans people under the bus, whether you want to believe it or not. They are throwing you all under the bus. They will leave you in the dust. Trust me. Okay, so at this point, now it's just survival of the fittest. And it's self-preservation. I already jumped ship, just so you know. There's very few life preservers left, trans community, so you better grab what you can and hop on out of that ship because it's going down, okay? And you caused it to go down. So with that, I hope that you see what I'm trying to do here and call out these people because it's not true. I hope that you don't hate all transsexual people, and I hope that you see that this is something that does help people who really need it, and it does, and I've been doing this for a long time, and it has helped me tremendously, and I just gonna keep telling you that. I just hope you can find some middle ground with me if you just don't believe people like me exist. We do, and we're not attached to those people, and it's just a shame that it's come to this. So with that, I will always be truthful, honest. I feel like I have integrity, and if I don't ever have a community again, but I have the love and the respect of the world, that's okay with me. I'm good with that.
They don't want you to know that I am not your enemy. They don't want you to know that I am not a threat to you. They don't want you to know that by fighting against trans rights, you are upholding the very patriarchy that holds you down. They don't want you to know that our liberation is inextricably linked. And they especially don't want you to know that the patriarchy itself crumbles when I am allowed to freely exist.
No.
So what do you say? You want to burn it down together?
Wow. First off, welcome back to my channel. We're going to get into this one. I have some good ones to totally laugh at. These people are laughable. Sorry, but first off, maybe you should stop calling women cis women, okay? They've been asking you to stop doing that forever, but you continue to do it. Secondly, you are the patriarchy. You are literally the patriarchy. Don't you can't get your head around the fact that you are biologically male. It's cool that you want to transition and live your life looking like a woman or being a woman or whatever that even means. No, you can't. People ask me that question all the time. What does it mean to be a man? How the heck do I know what it means to be a man? I'm not a man. Okay. Like, it's just crazy. I can't answer that. And any male to female transgender person cannot answer the question, what does it mean to be a woman? You cannot answer that because you don't know what it means. You have feelings of wanting to look this way and walk the world this way, but you have no clue. So everything you said is just a joke. It's an actual joke. And look, let me tell you how you're going to end the patriarchy. patriarchy. If you step down, sit down, let women continue to have their spaces, you don't get invited to all the party. Okay, have your own pity party, but like you just don't get invited to everything just because you're a trans woman and you think that you're going to be like hand in hand walking the world with women. Maybe women don't want that. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe. So with that, I'm going to move on. I got some good ones. Let's just get into this. I felt like making fun. I felt like laughing today. You know, some of this stuff is so heavy and gross. And it's just, I'm calling them out. I'm so tired of it. I'm just going to call them out. Just going to call them out today. Today's call out day for the pity party. Okay, so here's the second one.
Trans folks, how do y'all handle like family members, coworkers, friends in your life who don't cast you out for being trans, but they also like don't really talk about it? Like they might get your pronouns right, they might avoid them. It's kind of like a don't ask, don't tell situation, like where they kind of half-ass accept you. How do y'all handle people like that? I'm just curious.
Well, here, let me tell you how, buddy. Not everyone's going to be okay with you transitioning. It sounds to me like everyone's being super chill with you, dude. Like, what do you want them to do? Like, it is so crazy. You people, if it's never good enough. It's never good enough. You always have to keep pushing it. It's like, oh, they're half-ass accepting me. No, maybe they're just accepting you the way they need to accept you. Okay, maybe they're accepting me, but like, how do you deal with the fact that it's just is barfy? And I'm just gonna expose this nonsense, you guys. They don't want it to be better. They want to be victims. It is so clear to me every single day when I get on that toxic TikTok. Every single day, I'm like, no one wants a solution. Because if there's a solution to the problem that they seem to keep generating, then there will be no more of this. Okay? There'll be no more of this. So, you know, whatever, dude. Just go back home and say hi to everybody and chill out with your family.
It's been 3 weeks of publicly being a trans woman, and there's a few things that I want to clear up. I've received a lot of hate comments over the last few days, and a good chunk of them actually come from other trans women, which is really sad, but besides the point. Yes, I am a trans woman. No, I'm not a passing trans woman. Yes, I am 3 weeks into my transition journey and 3 weeks into hormone replacement therapy. No, I'm not going into female spaces or women's bathrooms or asking and demanding that random strangers on the street refer to me as she, her. Simply transitioning. I am going through the process. I'm documenting it here. I'm not asking anything of anyone here. And I think if you're a trans woman and you're on my page and your only goal is to break me down, if that's the ideology that you think is going to get us as a community through these next 4 years in this current juncture, politically, socially, we are just vastly different people. And if you're trans and you're on my page, I promise to always uplift you. This is a safe space, even for the girls who are sending me nasty comments all the time. Like, I'm never gonna do that.
Okay. Safe space. This is a safe space. I'm out of here then. I don't want to be in the safe space with you. Also, this stuff, like, you know, before TikTok, trans people just did their thing. They wouldn't even go out of the house and say they were trans, looking like that. Okay, good for you. I'm happy you're a trans person. Why are you documenting it publicly and thinking you're not going to get pushback, dude? Are you out of your mind? Especially from trans women. Okay, so no, that it just shows you right there. Don't think that there aren't trans women like me. There are a lot of them. Okay, and there's a lot of trans guys like me. We're over this nonsense. And you know, nobody cares that you're trans. Okay, nobody cares that you're documenting your journey. If you are going to document your journey publicly looking like that, okay, and you know exactly what I mean, you're going to get a ton of pushback. Why don't you go do your private little transition thing, get yourself looking like the way you want to look as a woman, okay, and get back out into the world again like you're supposed to do. I'm going to keep calling you out. You're just doing it for attention. 100%. Nobody cares about your transition, okay? Nobody, including the trans women. Barf. Okay, so, okay. Oh, God. Help me. Help me. Just help me.
You have to be so strong to be trans in the United States right now, because you really have to choose between being yourself or having other people's approval. And I know that's not across the board. It does exist, though. Wait a sec. Jasmine. And then on top of all of that, every day we have to wake up and look at the news and read all of these transphobic headlines, executive orders and bills, and the administration trying to literally erase our existence.
The pity party. It's such a pity party. It's so woe is me. I have to get up and look at the news every day and all the trans. How about not getting up and looking at the news? Have you ever tried that? That's what I do. I don't look at the news because the news is completely insane. And like, it's like you're hunting for the transphobic remarks. And also, how hard is it for you to live in the world? Are you insane? First off, you look like a dude. So I can't even imagine that you get any pushback until you open your mouth and say, I'm trans, because you all got to tell the world that you're trans. So if you never said, I'm trans, and you just walk the world like you're supposed to as a trans person, just fitting right in, then you wouldn't get any pushback and you wouldn't feel like it's so hard for me to live in the world. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I'm calling you out. No, it is not. It's hard for you to live in the world because you're making it hard to live in the world. And guess why we have executive orders? Because you started messing with the children, okay? And then trans women started saying, trans women are women, and we get to go everywhere women get to go, whether you like it or not. And then that started to create a whole, and guess what? Trans women are women, and they can run against every woman out there and beat them and make new records. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. We're going to crush the patriarchy, as a man says that. Oh my God, you people. Today I'm on a rampage. And at the end of this, I'll tell you why. So we got a couple more of these things to go through here. I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry.
Dakota's right. Numbers show that white lesbian women and white gay men are not, in fact, supporters of the trans community. Facts. It's disgusting.
Facts.
The LGBTQ plus community, the internalized homophobia, the rampant transphobia, and the rampant racism that happens is mind-boggling and absolutely disgusting.
This one actually totally gets me. It's like, really? White, what is it? White gay and lesbian women don't support trans. Are you insane? So because of gay men, mostly happen to be white, by the way, who supported my transition to get to this space. So no. You always got to make it race. You always got to pull out and it's so embarrassing when you're this little white person saying it's all racist. And did you notice the wording? Internalized homophobia, but not internalized transphobia. Everything is about gays being bad now. Everything is about cisgender people being bad now, but they never, ever take responsibility for their own actions, right? So, Missy, I am going to show you something right now that I can just completely stomp on your whole thing. Watch this.
Transphobic, transsexual. Buck Angel is at it again, bitch, and I'm on a rampage today because I am just so sick and tired of his bullshit, and the fact that he's white just makes it even angrier. Like, you mayonnaise smelling ass bitch. Why? Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back.
Bring it back.
Hold
Calm
on.
down.
So this pasty motherfucker gonna take somebody's story, somebody else's story, and post about it.
Yeah.
The person is a seahorse dad.
Okay, there it is right there. There it is. I think you might have seen this one already, but I had to put it with that one because it just blows that other person's little white people are racist story right out, right out the hole. So this guy is a what they call seahorse dad, and so he got mad because I posted about seahorse dads, and he got all racist straight to the bone because he couldn't handle it, and like just all his racism just came boiling out. And then I bet you he regrets ever posting that one on the internet because it's literally everywhere now. So, stop saying that. Just stop saying white people don't support, white people are racist. Why? I can prove you. Oh, did you guys all remember Blossom? Me and Blossom? And Blossom went straight out the gate on Amala's Epinobi's podcast that I did, where Blossom came straight out the gate saying that I said things, racist terms. And I'm like, what? No. So bull. I'm nope, yanking your chain. They're out. Get out of my way. So these people are so nuts. Okay, last one. Here we go.
Hi, I'm a trans girl with BPD. I don't want to pass. 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 That's
There you go.
okay. I know
No,
that
it's
I
not.
can't. But I'm a gender fluid doll.
can't.
I've never been upset with that. Look at me. What's your stud name? I like that I give this, whatever this is. Y'all are confused? Maybe you're not. I don't always want.
Okay, like literally, you're confusing actually. So there you go, right? And also co-opting that word dolls. A doll is somebody like Tori. Tori's a doll. I think Blair is a doll. Like dolls are trans women who really make themselves like ultra pass and really make an effort to be like very beautiful women. So you know what? Whatever. Now there's non-binary dolls. I bet the dolls are pissed about that one because they're now co-opting that space. But I don't need to pass. I'm a trans woman and I'm a like you're just mixed up as and you're clearly Looney Tunes, loop diddy loop. So before I go, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be posting about the reason I'm in this like sort of mood today is because I went to here in LA, there was ACLU was like having this little booth in front of this farmer's market that I go to sometimes. And then somebody called me and they said, Buck, they're promoting puberty blockers. And I'm like, what? So I got my little butt over there and I totally was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Da, da, da. And I got in their faces and I put it on my Instagram, but I think I'll use it for a video soon. And like, I literally lost it, but you know, it's my passion. It's literally my passion. It's my passion coming out. I look, you could call me aggressive, but you know, I'm tired of them. I basically give them their own medicine, right? That person could not say anything to me. And then they got the police, they came and I'm like, you can't tell me to not do this. I'll talk about it later, but I just want to let you know, like they literally got people to come over and try to shut me down. I'm like, no, I'm on public property. I'm a tax-paying. You cannot tell me to not do this. Okay. So get out of my face. And I'm going to sit here as long as ACLU puts their booth on a public space. I can stay here and I can do it. So that's why I'm in this kind of rambunctious mood today. And I just felt like I just, you know, I have fun making fun of them because they're ridiculous. And so anyway, I just want to let you know, thank you guys a lot. Really, I can't do this without you. And you're really helping this channel grow. And really, we're really fighting this fight in a way that they're scared of us. They are really seeing that we are coming after them and they will not continue to do this to children. I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not. And together, me and you know, I'm not going to get emotional right now. Every time I say kids, I can hear my voice because I don't care. I will not be part of this insanity. And it's going to come back tenfold on these crazy nut people and who think they're trans and all of this stuff. So I got another good reaction video coming out tomorrow too. And, I'm just gonna pick this stuff apart little by little. I'm just gonna chip. So with that, thank you guys. I'll see you guys later. Have an awesome day. And thanks again for everything you do for me. I do appreciate it a lot.
It gave parents the option to identify their babies as trans woman, trans man, gender queer, or even neither male nor female. Parents are outraged after a hospital group asked them whether their newborn babies identified as transgender. Inspira Health said it had to ask to comply with new laws. It gave parents the option to identify their babies as trans woman, trans man, gender queer, or even neither male nor female. The local Republican senator thought the form was fake when enraged parents sent her the form.
In fact, when I saw it, I thought maybe it was something made up to be provocative. So I had my staff reach out directly to the health network to confirm that it was indeed real because...
For real? I'm like, is this actually real? Or is this Saturday Night Live? Seriously? Whether your child is transgender, male to female, female to male, gender queer, no gender, has 3 legs and hoofs and horns, and like what's next? Seriously, what's next? I mean, I'm laughing, but I'm not. This is serious business here, people. They have infiltrated the actual hospital space where you fill out forms pertaining to your child, okay, your little teeny baby newborn that barely has its eyes open and has no clue about what's going on. And you see, it's all the parents. this proves to me and to all of us, because we all know it, it's the parents who are making the kids trans. It's the parents who are pushing these kids into this space. The fact that we're actually giving a parent a form to fill out that says this is the scariest, most insane indoctrination stuff ever. And why does it have to be the Democrats? Why? Okay, so what happened to the Democratic Party? I have been a lifelong Democrat. That is not anything to do with being a Democrat. That has something to do with something else, which has taken over the Democratic Party, number one. Number two, the same with the trans community. As you know, I use that lightly. This has nothing to do with any of that. They have infiltrated deep, and it's so again, I laugh because my mind is as yours is. I had to do this story that it just came out because it's just shocking. So thanks for being here. Thanks for liking, subscribing. My channel is doing great. They're trying YouTube. I'm a transsexual man of 30 plus years. Okay. I am not going to tolerate this, and I will keep blasting you because there is no reason why you should be silencing my videos. There is no way you should be demonetizing me. It's actually pathetic and wrong. And so I'm going to keep telling you that. I have a different opinion. You have to let me have a different opinion around this, okay? You have to. If you want to be a fair platform, because I will keep exposing that you are not doing that. So with that, thanks everybody so much for supporting the channel. Really, you are helping me move forward, and all the gifts and all the things that you send me is just really, really super appreciated. And I hope that you all know that. So let's move forward for more of this crazy, insane story. What?
You looked at it and you go, there's no way. Like, it's so stupid. It has absolutely no efficacy in the medical world. And how are they providing this to parents of newborn patients?
Right.
I mean, this is a statement when it's absolutely absurd. I mean, sexualizing a newborn child, asking how they identify. But this is a statement from the New Jersey Department of Health spokesperson saying that the department stresses any collection of sexual orientation, gender identity data. It should be done in a clinically appropriate and culturally competent manner, including patient populations for which certain data may not be appropriate, as in the case for newborns. Now, then they recommended that hospitals develop internal policies and procedures based on clinical advice to assist their employees in collecting such data.
I want to know what data that is. Data of transgender babies? That is ridiculous. That there's no such thing as a transgender baby. Let me just keep reminding you, and this will probably get who's ever watching this on YouTube get their little panties in a wad. But let me just remind you, there is no such thing. Okay, you are born male and female. Period. Okay, period. I was born female. Okay. I did this as an adult. I made my appearance look different. I have never changed my biological sex. I am still a female, and I don't care what all of you people and you wingnuts keep trying to dismantle reality. I'm not going to be a part of it as a transsexual. It hurts me, and it hurts other transsexuals when you do stuff like this and you lie. The rest of the world is pulling back on even letting us have our medication because they think you're all insane, which I will have to agree with, because it's just not right. It's not right to do this to children. It's not right to do this. Give parents the opportunity to even have a thought about it, which is also really bizarre to me. The fact a parent actually exposed this, by the way. So that's an actually great thing. I just need to keep reminding you all out there, you're not crazy. I'm not crazy. Something is weird going on. Okay. Biology matters in every aspect of human nature and human beings. Okay. God did not make, I'm not a mistake. Okay, I just want you all to know that. I'm not a mistake. I don't feel like a mistake, okay? I used to use that term, I was born in the wrong body. God, I wish I didn't do it. But here we are, okay? But that being said, I'm not a mistake. I just feel more comfortable presenting this way. Like some people feel more comfortable wearing a baseball cap on their bald head every day, and that's how they feel. Like some people feel more comfortable wearing certain kind of shoes all day. Like that's literally how it is for me. I just feel more comfortable in this outfit, in this sort of costume. And I don't need for people to think that I'm a mistake or no mistakes. None. Nobody's a mistake. Things happen. You can fix those things. You can become an alcoholic, a drug addict, or whatever. Is that a mistake? No, it happens. You hopefully can fix it and move forward. Let's get into more of this.
Are they trying to walk back now what they're having mothers fill out for their newborn babies? I mean, what does this statement tell you about their reaction?
I think once again, and it's kind of like, as Van Jones said, Democrats have realized that they've gone too far. The entire legislature, as well as the governor, is up this year in New Jersey. And I think you're starting to see, once the public expresses outrage, a walking back of some of the more insane policies that have been implemented under this administration and under Democratic control in the state.
Donald Trump's return to the White House was hailed as the end of woke. He declared the end of transgender ideology.
The end of woke. I mean, we're never going to forget this. We are just never going to forget this time in the world. We're just not. The fact that a president has to say the end of woke, like, it's just so pathetic. But, I think one of the things that happens is, it's like a kid. A kid will keep pushing, right? And if you just keep giving them a little bit of that stuff, then they'll keep trying to push to the next level, right? It feels so immature, this whole thing, but somehow we all got duped. We all got duped under this idea that, trans people need to have all of this, and you have to let them play sports, and you have to let them use the bathroom that they do, and they're marginalized, and they have the highest rate of unaliving in the world, and they're just really sad people. And so we all got duped into it, including me, right? Oh yeah, sure, there's trans kids. I got duped into that as well. And I was like, wait, okay, it's out of control. Now it's no, we're done. We've got to be done. We have to be. I'm telling you, as a transsexual person, we cannot have this in our system.
Teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And we will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools.
I mean, the fact that it's even in the school system. Okay, even in the school system. What? I mean, really? I mean, I laugh, but how, you guys? How did people, like all of us, we're not dummies. We're literally not dummies. But how did they just push this agenda into a space that got into little children's heads? And now everyone thinks they're trans and non-binary and zay, zim, zer, zee, zums. And also, the other thing I want to say before I move forward here is the American flag is important, and teaching children to respect the country they come from. They can disagree with the government. That's actually really important, and one of the great privileges of living in this country. As I got older, I started to realize the respect I need to have to live in this country, and how the privilege I have to be an American. And I think we don't teach the young people this kind of stuff, where you can push back on the government, and you can run for office, and you can be a part of changing things if you don't like the way the government is. That's a huge privilege that many people in the other parts of the world do not get. But we don't seem to push this, knowledge to the young people. The only flag that should be flying in any federal, state, the state flag and the United States flag, those are the only two flags. But how did the little trans flag, weird culty thing, get stuck in there? They just literally slid that thing right in.
And always remember, this is so easy, this will be done tomorrow. We will keep men out of women's sports. So
really, here we are.
With a militant transgender ideology.
Yet many medical professionals are resolute that children can be transgender.
What? What?
The youngest that I've ever heard somebody
Oh.
express their gender identity being different than their assigned gender is 18 months old. We have the largest trans youth clinic in the world.
People took to X to share their concerns. One stated, "We've been told for years by the left that individuals don't pick their gender or sexual orientation. They are born that way. But then we've got parents in New Jersey making that choice for their babies before they can even walk, talk, or eat solid foods.
Wow.
Which one is it?" Another simply wrote, "What a bunch of utter clowns." Photographer David Bailey's son, Sasha, stressed, however, how vulnerable many young people can be to the idea of transitioning.
I think one of the major issues that we're facing is that people are pushed down this route far too quickly without looking at the external factors.
Yes.
So we have a major problem with we look at this thing as from the aesthetic angle. We look at this as, this is what you want to be, this is why you want to be on the outside. You want to change yourself, almost like you want to fit into a round peg into a square hole. You want to be something to solve the problem that's around you from your environment. So you may be in an environment that's very bad for you. You may be, like I was, in an environment where it's abusive. And
I want to let you guys know that he's a friend of mine, and I'm going to be on his podcast this week. So he's super cool, and he was transitioning, and then he detransitioned. But he's a very smart kid and really awesome. And me and him are friends, and his voice is very, very powerful in this fight. And we need to really listen to people like him because he almost got stuck in that space.
in order to solve that, you need to be able to change yourself.
Okay, and do you think then that this is a potentially very big problem in society? I mean, why do you think that this is affecting a lot of men at the moment?
I think this is only going to grow, and I think the situation I was in where, you know, I had my masculinity challenged on a daily basis is something that we see kind of growing in society in general for men. Wow. The problem, I think, is that men, especially young men right now, growing up, they're told as a basis, especially if you're Western, that you are evil, you are wrong as growing up. You have something wrong with you. All of our thinkers, all of the people who think as men are vilified. You just have to look at what happened to Jordan Peterson. And as that's a problem that grows, I think that, you know, well, I can either be, you know, a cis white male, or I can baptize myself in this kind of cult of gender ideology, and I can get a new label, or I can become something different. And that gives me the opportunity to cast off all of the sins of my father, all of the sins of the generations before, and fit into this society in a way that's new and fresh.
You know, he makes such great points. You know, I noticed that in the last 5 or 10 years that we really have been hardcore on men and masculinity and toxic masculinity. I get called toxic masculinity when I cry on almost all my videos. Not that that's, you know, weak or anything, but it's not toxic. And so, you know, he's making these great points. And I wonder if also on the flip side, why do you think all these young girls? Because I think the majority of people who transition are young girls. And why aren't they being taught to be okay with themselves? And why aren't they being taught to be masculine women? And, you know, now it's trans mask. Trans mask is just basically a butch lesbian, as far as I'm concerned, because they're a lot of them aren't really taking the medicine. They're just cutting off their medicine, meaning testosterone. They're just cutting off their breasts, or they, you know, what is this hate fullness towards being a female? And so what he's saying, I also want to put on the flip side that I think a lot of young girls are feeling somehow disconnected from being a female or a woman or a girl. And I think we need to study like what's happening. I feel like I know why it's happening to dudes wanting to be women. And then we have AGP, and we have a lot of other levels of fetishness that infiltrated into transsexualism. And so, you know, there's just layers of stuff here that we really need to start studying. So let's watch a little bit more of this.
And I think that this is something that's only going to grow. I think it's only going to grow massively as we kind of continue to vilify, well, masculinity in all its forms.
And presumably there was a period of time where you thought that making that transition would have solved everything and made you very happy.
Yeah.
What in reality do you think that would have done, you know, a couple of years down the line?
I think a couple of years down the line, we would be sitting here and I'd be a person who had detransitioned. I would have lost my fertility. I would have lost so many things that would have made me a man. And we'd be sitting here having a very different conversation about regret. We'd be sitting here having a conversation about how all of these things were taken away from me, how the doctors didn't tell me, weren't honest with me about what had happened, weren't honest with me about the loss that I would have encountered.
That's the part that I want to really emphasize there. The doctors are not being honest. Okay. So I guess Sasha didn't really go through with it, but got close to it. But whatever his journey was, it's still a very important journey that we discussed this. But that being said, the doctors are not being honest with the long-term effects, what it means, hormones, puberty blockers, newborn babies. Like, okay, you people, if this doesn't stop it, if this actually doesn't stop this gender ideology stuff rolling forward, then we're done. We are actually lost. This is how scary it is. It's gotten to babies. Okay. Now what? Like, no, just no. So, you know, that woman that was here a second ago, she's the doctor of the Los Angeles Children's Hospital here in Los Angeles, and she did that study that she got paid from the government to do, and she didn't release it on puberty blockers because it didn't align with her ideological space, and puberty blockers don't work, and she didn't release it. She's also the one who's literally pumping those kids full of puberty blockers. Well, after President Trump signed the executive order that all of that nonsense has to stop, that all the hospitals stop doing it. But yesterday, I found this, okay? And I'm bringing this up here real quick because this is actually so insane, you guys.
Major news from the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. After 3 weeks of us protesting and speaking out, they have heard our voices. And they just announced that they will be allowing trans people under the age of 19 to access both puberty blockers and hormone therapy. However, the ban on surgery of trans people under 19 is still in place. It has been in place since November of 2024. So we still need to apply pressure, but this is a small win.
First off, that is against the law. That's why I wanted to put that out there. We need to contact whoever we need to contact and get Los Angeles Children's Hospital busted. They are giving the hormones to the kids. They're not supposed to be doing that. They're not supposed to be giving puberty blockers or cross-sex hormones to anyone under the age of 19. There's an executive order in space. So they are not listening to the executive order. And as far as I'm concerned, that is illegal. So I want us all somehow, whatever you need to do, we all need to get this to whoever we need to get this to and get that hospital shut down and that gender center. So I also want to remind you who that person is. That's called, her name is his name is Rose Montoya. And Rose Montoya was the one who was flashing her boobs at the White House. You all remember that. And then I did a whole video on her. I'm saying her just because I'm being okay right now. That they... I can't stand Rose. They essayed a trans man and then I think also another trans man. So I did a video on it and that person disappeared after they got busted because that trans man came out and told everybody that they did that to them. And then Rose went into hiding, but now Rose is back again. So to you, Rose, you're disgusting and you're wrong. And those children should not be on hormones. And you need to be just going back in your hole where you belong and stop pushing this disgusting ideological stuff onto young kids. Do what you need to do as an adult, but don't you dare touch those kids. Not on my time. I have my eyes on you. Okay. Children's Hospital is now doing stuff that they're not supposed to be doing. I'm going to leave you all with this. Thank you all for really, really paying attention to this. We cannot let this happen, okay? Thank God somebody turned this paper in, and this hospital now is going to have to pull back on that nonsense. They're sneaking stuff underneath, okay? So we all participate in shining lights on this irresponsible behavior that we are, this is child abuse, 100% child abuse, okay? So I really do appreciate that you all care so much about these young people. I care about these young people. And every single time I think about the young people, I just get so emotional because it's not okay. Okay. It's not okay. And I'm going to tell you, as a transsexual, it is not okay to put a kid in this position. It is not an easy life. It is not easy to be in this space. It is work. It is a commitment that only adult can make.